Good evening. I was about to say good morning, as I usually do this in the mornings. But welcome to another episode of Migrants Journey. This is episode 32. We have had 31 amazing stories so far, so many advices, so many golden tips in there for you to be prepared if you're planning to migrate or if you're already looking for a job here in Australia, specifically in Australia. Please head on to my YouTube channel if you haven't watched them yet. There are about 31 episodes, which is like about 15 hours worth of binging. Head on to my YouTube channel. There's a playlist where you can watch all the episodes. Trust me, there's a lot of important information out there. If you're watching this for the first time, this is a migrant's journey, a series dedicated to giving you a real picture of what the struggles are of migrants. Often migrating to another country, be it Australia, Canada, US, or whichever country it is, it's usually seen as a dream come true, and we think it's easy to migrating, but because of our differences in expectations, culture, and the things we do, usually the initial few months, especially the job search, is a real struggle. So my objective is to give you a real picture of what happens out there, give you a candid, filter-free picture of what happens out here, and that's where I come. If you're watching this live or if you're watching a replay, please say hi, hello, good evening, either on LinkedIn or YouTube. That's how social media works. The more you make noise over there, the more social media likes it. It will give it to more people. The more people will get help from this, and the happier it makes me in the end. So that's a final intention as well. So today I have a special guest with me. His name is Pravesh, and his story is very interesting in the sense that he got a job within 1.5 pandemic months. That's how I'd say it. He came to Australia in March, and within 1.5 jobs, he had 1.5 months. Sorry, he had a job in hand. So let's go to his story on how he cracked the market. So Pravesh, welcome to the show.
Hi, Vinesh. It's a pleasure meeting you online. Not in person though, but yes,
Yeah.
it's really nice meeting you and sharing my story. There are so many stories in the background that's happening all throughout I mean, throughout Australia,
Yeah.
and I'm really happy with my story. Though the negatives and the positive which happened. So failures and success,
Yeah.
we have to go ahead with that, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to share my story and yes. So initially, what I've been doing. So I migrated in the month of March, and what I did exactly was in the background before migrating. What I exactly did was to understand the market.
Hmm.
So the first networking and first perspective was networking, and then understand the market. What regarding to my profile, what's on demand, and my skill set will that work here in Australia, and there were so many things going on around in my mind, and that's how I got in touch with you to last year. I was just telling you that we have plans on migrating probably on Jan. That's what I said, but we migrated on March,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because that's how the plan went on.
So
So
on
the
the
first,
networking, I'll just ask that question. On the
sure.
networking side of things, before
Yeah.
migrating, networking is a different concept for especially migrants. I mean, it's not something that we commonly do, in a country like India or probably in most of Asia. It's not a common thing to do. So what were
Yeah.
your thoughts on that when you heard, networking is very important? Were you on board with that?
Yeah, yeah. What I exactly understood is it's not just getting in touch with the recruiters around Australia. That's not the meaning exactly. What I had in mind previously was just to get in touch with the recruiters
Yeah.
and I'll get a job. So that was what I had initially. Then I understood that before the networking term is there's so many things in the background. It's your profile. The
Yeah.
profile has to be what the market or what you have in mind and what you've been doing for the past 6 years, how well you presented on the LinkedIn profile or the resume. There were so many things which I didn't know
Yeah.
before coming in. So I kept on understanding what exactly will work
Yeah.
or try doing it so that you get a result.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is initially was just applying, and then I knew that when I understood looking at the job description, different stories of other migrants who came in. They were saying that there's no use on just applying on jobs.
Mm.
Make everything streamlined, your resume, CV, or if you want to do a certification is worth, but you have to have that specific skill set
Yeah.
which is correlating with the certification, what you do. So
Yeah.
it's no use doing just the certificate as per the market, but as per your skill set. So
Yeah.
that's how I understood these are the things which I have to do. I noted that down, and it kind of worked for me overall. So I took my own time, and I didn't keep on applying. I didn't do that. I looked at the job description or the specification of each and every uh, organization,
Hmm.
and only then I went ahead and applied.
Yeah.
So probably I applied for 5 or 6 per month, but within for the 6 applications, I got 3 interviews initially. Then I got shortlisted in 2, and I preferred for one. So I can't work for 2 organizations.
That is a quick.
So
Yeah, that was a really quick turnaround. By the way, I'm facing some technical issues. I'm not sure. So the video is getting lagged, but your audio is voice loud and clear. So that's all what matters. And I hope it's not creating much of an issue. So just wanted to warn the viewers
okay,
out there. So I
sure,
think you kind of did a lot of homework in the background before arriving to Australia.
yes,
So but a question for you. Did anything happen before you arrived? Like, did you get any calls at all? I mean, that's a common question that we get, staying in overseas, can you get a job? I mean, I know you might be able to get, but it's extremely hard. So did you
yes,
get anything at all in that
yes,
sense?
yes. I did receive calls not from the organization but from the consultants
Mm-hmm.
saying that yes, I received your application. Where are you currently? And when I straight away tell them that I'm in India right now, they told me as soon as you reach back, I mean, if you as soon as you migrate, get in touch with me.
Yeah.
That was feedback which I got, but there are other migrants who might have succeeded,
Yeah.
but I won't say that will not happen. But my feedback is it didn't work for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's
Though,
what I hear
yeah,
generally. I just wanted to
yeah,
make sure. So I think networking
yes,
played an important role. So did you attend my
exactly.
meetup while you were in India or?
No, I attended your meetup on March when I migrated. That's when I attended your meetup for the
Mhm.
first time.
And did that kind of change the way you
Yes.
approached your job market? And what would you have done, or what did you do before March, and how did that change? And what impact do you think that had in your job search?
Okay. The main impact, what I could see was after the meetup, you gave a feedback, and you picked up 3, 4 profiles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my profile was also picked in by you. So you gave me a feedback regarding my resume, not my resume, my LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile. And there are a few tips which you gave me, initial tips. So I made the changes I had, and frankly speaking, I did have a look at a few other profiles and see how well, I mean, the good profiles.
Hmm.
I won't say the good profiles, the profile which suits for the market. So how it has to be created, the LinkedIn profile. So I changed it. I changed it again and again. Then I got few feedbacks from other friends who uh, uh, did really well on changing their LinkedIn profile.
Hmm.
So that's when I understood that how my profile was created before was not up to the standards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that really helped. And before that, I kept on applying for so many applications. Then I made those. Then I thought, okay, that's not the right way. Get everything right and then apply. No use applying for 50 or 40 applications per month.
Hmm.
So then I understood after you made up that this is not the right way. This is the way we have to go forward and see how it goes. And it worked.
Yeah. So,
So,
after that, did you focus your energy more on networking or applying online? Because I think in the end you just applied
yeah,
online, and that's how. Yep.
networking.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yes.
how was that experience like?
Yeah, what I started doing is going online. one is related to my profile, what kind of consultants are available or agencies, and the organizations. I kind of sent them an not an invite, but saying them that I moved in here and I'm looking for opportunities. And though it's not the right way, but I told them that I migrated, and if there's any opportunity coming up, please do let me know. I would appreciate it. And I started having conversation first, and then sending them an invite. So it was not just barging in or just sending them an invite and not replying.
Mhm.
Just building up a conversation initially, and then see how it goes. So first thing is, I don't know who that specific person is, but I looked into their profile, understood what they are, and then had a conversation through a message, and then initially getting a bond along with them, and then sending them an invite.
Mhm.
So that's how my process was in terms of applying for organizations um, or agencies. I mean,
Yeah,
consultancy. So
so
that's
that's something. If you think about it, even though it's not very complicated, it's very different to what we mostly migrants do. I mean, they just apply
yeah,
for a role and sit back and wait for a call, and then
yes,
complain that we
yeah,
are not getting a call back. But you have to
yeah,
kind of do a lot more than just applying online, and I'm glad that things worked better for you. So in the end,
yeah.
how did you end up getting that role? Was it just like applying online and going for an interview, or what was the process like in the end?
Okay. What I feel what worked for me was the resume and the CV. So
Hmm.
I kept on changing my CV and the resume for every application I do. So which I feel relates to the requirement. So I used to compare with the job description and modify my resume, not completely, but it has to suit to what my skill set is, right? So I
Yeah.
used to change it so that I be prepared on the background, and if there's an interview, it has to correlate with my skill set. So I used to change my resume and my CV depending upon the job I applied for. So
Yes.
all the six applications which I did had different resumes,
Hmm.
not complete different
Yeah.
resumes, the same skill set, but made some changes depending upon the requirement they had.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the key points I think I highlighted in the meetup as well, as in you have to help the recruiter help you. If you
Yeah.
speak a different language compared to the job description, it doesn't actually help you. The recruiter, what they do eventually is look at the job description, look at the resume, and see if you're a match. So, if you're talking different keywords or different language, they might think you're not a match, even though you're a match and you can explain
Yes,
it. But if it's not on the resume, then it's probably not.
exactly.
The message doesn't get out there.
Yeah.
So after application, you just got a call, and what happened next?
Yes, after the application, there were two choices which I had.
Mhm.
One was for, it's something like Kmart, right? There was an organization. So they called me back saying that you were shortlisted and let's go forward.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
so that's one, and another for a council-related job, and that's another invite which I got.
Hmm.
So what happened was I had to decide. That's the final part which I had to come up with.
Hmm.
So I had a conversation with on both sides, and then I decided to go ahead with the council related field. But it took me a while, though it was confirmed. Though I got the offer letter, I had to wait for 2 months due to the situation which kickstarted then, actually because they were not sure whether it's going to be work from home or it's going to be at work. So
Hmm.
so yeah, that's how it began, and I mean the after the offer letter I received.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's absolutely a refreshing story, that this can, I mean, getting a job in 1.5 months itself is a big achievement, and getting it in 1.5 pandemic months is a
yeah,
absolutely different achievement. So thanks for sharing that story. So
sure,
you attended my meetup and you talked to a lot of other people as well who are going through the
please.
same journey, right? would you have any advice for job seekers or international students or migrants in general? What should they do? I mean, especially during this current situation, I mean, it's easy to give up on things
Yeah.
and not think that, there's no job market out there, so why should I try at all? So, would you have any advice for them?
What I would say is to every people who are applying for a job, or what I would exactly say is don't lose hope,
Hmm.
right? So we are all there together. So you should never lose hope on any circumstances. So what you do is prepare work prepare work what you want to do at home, on your anything which works for you. So what I would suggest is have your background skills ready, be prepared, learn every day. There's so many things which we have to learn. It doesn't matter, you just learn on your just on work, right? So you have to prepare yourself initially, and then what the exactly final advice what I would exactly do give you guys is focus, right? You have to focus on what you do.
Hmm.
There are negative things happening around throughout the world. Avoid that.
Hmm.
So, for example, don't look at the news every day. You get
Yeah,
depressed.
yeah,
So what you do is focus on what you want to do. You are going to succeed. So, never think of I mean, you're going to fail. Never think about it.
absolutely.
So even if you fail for an interview, it's fine. Go ahead for the next interview. You will succeed. So success is going to be there. Don't worry. You will do it. Your family is along with you. Your friends are there. So never give up. So that's the only term which I have to tell you guys, because never ever give up. If you do, then you have all the negative thoughts coming in again.
Hmm.
So never give up. Keep on trying. You will succeed. It doesn't matter how many months it's going to take, but be a fighter, be a warrior. You will do it.
Absolutely. And that's a really good point. Usually what most people do is once they get a rejection, either on an interview or an application, they think, okay, this is the end of the world and this is only happening to me. Um,
Yeah.
on the other hand, all these failures make you stronger. I always say, if you fail for 9 interviews, you're 10 times stronger than what you were in your first interviews, and that will reflect in your 10th interview, right? You're 10 times stronger in that interview. So always
Yeah.
take failures in that sense. It's not the end of the world, and absolutely on point regarding news. Don't overwatch it. Be aware of what's going around, but just be aware. don't
Yes.
don't be obsessed about what's happening around the world. It's a tough world out there right now. I understand that you have the it's easy to get sucked into it, but it doesn't really help your mental state, especially in these tough times. So thank you. Okay, I think I missed one question. Did you have any bad experience, not bad experience, something very different or something that you didn't expect during your job search, or
Yeah.
during your catch-ups or something like that?
Yes. One of the experience which I had was I. This is for another organization. I got shortlisted, but I got a offer letter. Then they called me up and said that this is not for full time. We are going to convert it, transition that to temporary work. It's going to be for only for 2 months,
Oh,
and that I won't say that to be a bad
this was
experience,
after
but
you got an offer letter?
yes.
Oh, that's surprising.
So yeah, so that's and I got disappointed, but then I thought, okay, if that's the case, I have to go ahead on applying again for the opportunities.
Yeah,
So that's how the other two options I had.
yeah.
So the first one which I got shortlisted was a full time
Hmm.
job, but they converted that to a part time just for 2 minutes. I mean, 2 months,
Yep.
but that was disappointing. I didn't. I probably some. I mean, any other migrant might have faced that
Yeah.
situation here, but I was one of those. Imagine you get shortlisted for the first time, and
Yeah, it's
and
it,
you get a
it
reply.
can be really hard, and it will
Yeah,
definitely hit your morale, thinking, okay, so the next time till you joined your office, you would have been worried, okay, will this happen again, right? So that worry
yeah,
will always be there. But I think
yeah,
in the yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. And what I did finally was I rejected that
Yeah.
because I felt that the organization are changing it now and then, though there was a pandemic
Hmm.
involved. and I told them that I was not interested
Yeah.
because you gave me an offer letter and then you changed it over.
Yeah.
So I said I gave them a reply saying that
Awesome.
no, I'm not
So
interested.
in the end, that worked for good, you know. I mean, everything
Yes,
happens for a reason, right?
yeah,
So that's where this whole thing comes into. And I
yeah,
think considering the volatile situation we are in, things like these unfortunately happen. You know, I'm hearing stories where people were given an offer and then it was completely taken back. So
yeah,
unfortunately, things like that are happening.
yes,
Just means that you have to keep your spirits high. I know it can be really, really hard, but
yes,
you have to keep your spirits high and push on, keep going, you know, to what next. So thank
yeah.
you so much for sharing your story,
Sure,
Pravesh. It's definitely
sure.
a refreshing story to listen, especially, you know, getting, I'll repeat this. Love repeating this.
Thank
Getting
you,
a job in 1.5 pandemic months, it's a achievement on its own. Thank you so much for your time today.
thank you,
And yeah, anything
thank you.
would if people would like to get in touch with you, would LinkedIn be the best place to do
Yeah,
that?
sure, 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 sure.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you have any questions for me or Pravesh, please leave a comment or connect to us and send a message to us, and we'll get back to you.
yeah.
Otherwise, I had some technical issues right in this episode. I'm not sure, but the voice is
Okay.
getting out there clearly, just that the video is lagging. My
Mhm.
laptop is, I think it doesn't like evening meetup, so that's probably the reason. But otherwise it was a really good story, and
All right.
thank you so much for your time. All right, so
Yeah,
I'll yeah.
sure.
All right, so thanks for all you know, watching this live or replay. I'll hopefully come with more episodes, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye bye.